Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up. That's the 30.
First and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Ready. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense, pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. This is going to be a good one-on-one battle to watch. Both of these guys play the game at the highest level.
Both of them are terrific competitors. They play the game with great athleticism and smarts as well.
And in this early round, the defense wins. Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Matt Ioannidis make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a third and long.
Go. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
So it looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Here we go. 65. Hey, alert!
First carry for Raquel Armstead. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Now Armstead, not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
From the 35 on second down, Garoppolo. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Trying to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
First down, Ravens.
Set. 15 line. 15 line. Bravo. Get ready.
On play action, they'll throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Alex Anzalone, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Go ahead.
Beginning the drive here with Armstead. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Looking long for Thomas. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. Not good at all. Punted just 24 yards there. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Let's go. 8-3. Quarterback, don't get nervous, man. Hey, nice 7. Down, hit.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll get this to Eckler. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
91. There. Check 1-3. Get it.
Two yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Match box, light.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3-and-out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it up. A run here with Armstead. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Here we go. Hey, 4 down.
To throw is Garoppolo. Open man is Michael Thomas. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Garoppolo again. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you...
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. There's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
Christian Kirk there to make the grab. And the Saints have taken the lead. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. They'll set up to throw. This will be caught by Brown. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
This pass into the arms of Snead. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game. So you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Rush in. 21. Here we go. Check.
Going with Armstead, a first down carry. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
On 2nd down, Armstead. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now a play fake here on first down. And Thomas has it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive? And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there just before halftime. And even 50 yards. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And it's now 17-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
Before getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. He's going to lock one deep over the middle. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But to drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Here we go, here we go.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Here we go.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Boston Scott, his first carry. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Taking it about the 16.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Under 10. 5. Ready.
They'll set up a throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Running on first down, Eckler. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
And especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. And the throw there going to be incomplete. With that matchup, the adjustment that was made, you have a blazing guy on a blazing guy, and defensively, he won that battle.
The closing speed is the key. When you have a guy that fast and he can close at the end of a play and knock it away, that's a big deal, and we just saw him do it right there.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Fielded about a yard deep. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against? So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. This is Armstead on the carry. Room here to run. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 43 yards on the ground. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. Lutz with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
He'll look to throw. He uncorks it for Snead. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers. as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Let's go. At their own 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Here we go.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They run it with Armstead. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th.
Set. 30 base. Check.
Back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Mullins now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
2nd and 9 now. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. On the handoff, Armstead. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll stay with the run and Armstead. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's taken it around the 40. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, exit.
They'll drop the throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, sometimes, Brent, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. They'll try and run this. It's Pumphrey. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here, back to the 2. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Tucker now to add the point after. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
That ties the game, 24-24.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas, and it's third down. They try to take a shot there on second down, and that leaves them, because of the incompletion, a very tricky 3rd and 10.
And with the time situation, you would expect them to try and get it all in this one play, but there's still enough time.
And this is going to be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll hand to Armstead. Tavon Young in on the tackle.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
Lock.
They'll give it back to Armstead. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
11.
Third down, it's Armstead. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. This for the lead in the final stages. And Lutz's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 49 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that's going to tie the ball game at 27-all. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Here we go. 180.
Watch tight end. 4 down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Here we go. 180. Lock. Recon, 132 fighter.
Hey, check 24.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. And an alley to run. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. The kick by Lutz is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Hey, Alpha.
On play action, they'll throw. He uncorks it for Snead. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hey, Haywood. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Mike 56, Mike 56. I got go.
Now back to throw. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there at 22. They wanted to avoid the dreaded 4th down and having to get a conversion or it being the final play. They picked it up, though, on 3rd.
I love how you described that because we've been in those situations and seen it. If you get to 4th down, especially in overtime, things get a little shakier, don't they? The hands get shaky, right? The throw, if you're going to throw the ball, being able to run it, all of that coming down to one big play. Very nice of them and nice for them to pick it up on 3rd.
He's going deep for Brown. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go now. 90 Wolf. Hey, Echo.
47's the mic. 47's the mic. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. 47's the mic. 47's
ready?
They'll look to throw again. Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. Picked off by Von Bell. And that's how this one ends in dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.